Paul Farbrace, that's a crushing defeat. What's your take on that performance?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty fair to say out-batted, out-bowled, out-fielded. And that's what we've just talked about in our change room. I've said to you many times, we have an honest group. That's a pretty quiet dressing room at the moment because they know that they've been embarrassed, and embarrassed is the word. I mean, I can take losing, and I've chatted to you about losing a fair bit in this competition so far, which I'm not enjoying. But that was probably the worst of the lot. I reckon that's the point where you say, that's it, you can't go any lower than that. And there's only one way to go from that, and that's up. We've at times we've batted well, at times we've bowled well, but today we bowled poorly from start to finish. We fielded poorly, we dropped chances, and then we started off nicely with about 39 without loss, looking like we were going nicely. And then we just capitulated and threw our wickets away and gave our wickets away. Now, I wouldn't mind if we'd been bowled out for 90 in about 9 overs trying to score at a decent rate, but we weren't really. We limped through a batting performance that was just not good enough, and that's that's the conversation we just had. It's not good enough. None of us can go away from tonight with anything other than embarrassment, disappointment. It's not even frustration, because we haven't competed, and when you don't compete, one or two grumbling about umpiring decisions, that's the least of your worries. Worry about your own game rather than worry about somebody else's. So look, that's a really poor performance. There's no getting away from it. We're not going to hide from that, and we know that we've got to do a damn sight better than that if we're going to win games of cricket. And it's all very well talking about, well, September, got a chance promotion. We've still got 2 more games in this competition, and to be fair to our members and supporters who come and watch us, we've got to show a bit of pride in our badge, and we've got to show that we care about playing for Sussex, because today it looked at times as though we didn't care, and that's unacceptable. That's the one thing that I don't like, having levelled a team that I'm working with, and I include myself in that, but it looked at times as though we didn't care, and that's just simply not good enough.
You've taken responsibility, Paul. You've said that you take it on yourself as well, but in fairness, when the players go over the white line, I know it's a football term, when they go over the white line, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, it's down to those 11 men, isn't it?
Well, it may be we haven't prepared them properly. Maybe we haven't given them the right information. Maybe we haven't prepared them properly. Maybe we haven't got the right mentality in them. There's lots of things. So no, it's not just it's not just about the 11 that cross the line. I mean, as I say, I take full responsibility, and I will do again for this one. It's on me. And we've just had a very, I would like to think, honest conversation in our changing room, and there needs to be more honest conversations with players and coaches and player to players over, the next few days, because that isn't acceptable, and it is on me. I mean, I'm charged with the responsibility of trying to get the best out of everyone, whether it's the players, the coaches, and that's my job, is to help players get better and understand their games, help motivate them, help drive them forward, and of course it's on me, so I'm not going to dump it on the players. I mean, yeah, when they cross the line, they're the ones holding the bat and bowling the balls, but ultimately we're all in this together, and as I just said to them, we win as a team, we lose as a team, and that's the one thing we've got to make sure we don't start having divides between batters and bowlers. We don't start pointing fingers, because it's easy to point fingers and blame others, but this is a day where everyone has to look at themselves and say, what did I contribute? What did I do? How can I get better? And as I say, that's every single one of us. That's not just the players.
Paul, you've coached at the very highest level. You've come into the club. Was this a more difficult job than maybe even you imagined?
No, not until this last few weeks. The last few weeks, I think we've been making, in Championship, I still think we made good progress, and September we've got a lot to look forward to. We're going to have to play really well. The T20, we didn't quite get it right at the start, but we got better as the competition went on. So there was some good stuff came out of that at the end, although we didn't qualify. So that's something we've got to get right. But this 50 over competition, I did challenge the players at the start and said, this is the one competition where we're under more pressure than any other, because it's the one competition we got to a semi-final last year. We've only lost George Garton from our squad, and we've got a full squad to pick from. But we just haven't played well enough. We've played some really, really poor cricket, and that's something that you have to be really careful that we don't, whatever bit of confidence we've got left, we don't just bash it out of people. So there is a fine line between being very honest, but also not just telling people they're good players for the sake of it to make them feel better, because that's not going to help anyone. So we need to be honest, but then we need to make sure that our practice is really good, and our practice is as good as it can be. And I thought we had 2 really good practice days leading into this game. They had the 2 days off, Monday, Tuesday, then we had 2 really good practice days. Wednesday was very structured and it was very competitive. Thursday was get out of the session what you need, which we try and do the day before a game, and then you go into the game. So I think, you know, we're all trying really hard. We're trying to do the right things. In terms of the toughness of task, well, yeah, maybe I knew it was going to be a tough job, and that was the thing that appealed to me. At the same time, you know, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, today's a shocking day in the grand scheme of things, but it's a game of cricket, and we've got to find a way to, you know, get up in the morning and find a way to bounce back. And that's the great thing about this competition, is that we get on a bus tomorrow and we head down to, where we go in Worcester, to play Worcester on Sunday, and we've got a chance to do something about it. We're making some changes. We'd already made changes before the game, so there'll be a couple of new faces coming in on Sunday, and it's up to individuals to take the opportunity. So yeah, but we're all in the, you know, the game of cricket's a tough game, and so it's certainly not a time now to be pointing fingers and, you know, accusing players of not trying or not being good enough or whatever. The performance as a team, and that's every single one of us, not good enough today, and every single one of us, including me, have got to do something about it and find a way to get back to winning games of cricket.
There are rumours going around, Paul, regarding yourself and a director of cricket job at Kent. What can you tell us about that? I'm
definitely not going to be Kent's next director of cricket. I'm staying here. So provided I don't get shown the door in the next few days, my plan is to stay here. I mean, look, there's a project here that really excited me, and I see no reason to walk away from that project. So, you know, I'm definitely going to be staying here, I hope, you know, I want to see that project through, because I think we have got some really good players, and it is frustrating. And as I say, and I've said to you this many times, it isn't the time to be dumping this on players. You know, we've got to stop talking about them being young players. They are developing, but every player is developing regardless of their age, and we've got to find a way to get the team full of confidence, playing good cricket and getting back to winning games of cricket, because that's, you know, that's what we're here for. We're professional people who, you know, we should be taking pride, and today our pride has taken a bit of a blow, and we've got to find a way to turn that around and get back to winning games of cricket. And, you know, as I say, we've got a chance on Sunday and then Tuesday, and then we have a really good run into the championship start again. By not qualifying for this knockout stage, we've got a really good preparation time running into it. But you can't keep talking about the next game. You've got to be talking about the game in the here and now, because, you know, cricket's not a game where you can always be talking about what's coming. You've got to deal with the here and now, and if you don't deal with the here and now, then the game tends to bite you in the backside.
Final question from me. You have strength in looking ahead to that championship fixture, bringing in an Indian quick bowler. Just tell us a little bit about that. Yeah, so
Jaydev Udikat is an outstanding left arm seamer. His first class record is fantastic. He's from the same state province as Cheteshwar, so, you know, the fact that they're both from Rajkot, they know each other really well, that's a massive advantage as well. We had a couple of options and we felt that he was absolutely the right option, Jaydev. He's been great to deal with, been fantastic to deal with, had a lot of good conversations, and he's been a dream to deal with, and he's very excited about coming and playing. He knows the situation. When I tried to explain to him where we were in the championship and what the games meant, he said, "You've got nothing to explain. I follow Cheteshwar's career. I know exactly where Sussex are at. I know it's an exciting month for you, and I'm really looking forward to coming and getting stuck in and helping you win games of cricket." So, you know, that'll be a great, you know, boost to us, because, you know, Nathan McAndrew did a great job for us. Nathan was excellent. I thought Henry Shipley did a good job for us as well in those middle 4 games. So, you know, our balance has changed. You know, we started off with 1 batter, 1 bowler from the overseas. Then went to 2 batters, then went to 2 bowlers, and now we're back to a batter and bowler. But you know, we've got a lot of experience, a lot of quality in Jaydev and Cheteshwar to play in those September games. We might have Ollie Robinson back for a couple of games as well in September, so, you know, that adds a bit of quality to our team. But the other thing you're hoping for is a reaction from your own players, from our players during this next few weeks, because, you know, they'll be smarting, and as I've said to you many times, they're honest. You know, they're not, you know, they're not trying to make excuses. That they're desperately hurt by today, and they know that they've got to do something about it, which is a great place to be.